Hello, all you special little snowflakes out there in cyberspace. This channel is DaddyMonsterRants. I'm the Daddy Monster. I make meatloaf out of sacred cows. A couple of years ago, there was a TV show called Revolution. I forget what network it's on. Was on. It's on Netflix now. Pretty good show. Entertaining. And despite the fact that J.J. Abrams was associated with it, there weren't too many lens flares or too much politically correct bullshit. The story is about life in America 10 or 15 years after a government experiment goes wrong and shuts down electricity all over the world. Electricity just doesn't flow. Like I said, pretty cool show. In 1859, back when there was very little electrical usage, a solar flare, a coronal mass ejection it's called, hit the Earth. It induced so much electric current that telegraph wires caught fire, fried pretty much every circuit that was then in existence. But that was 1859, 2 years before the Civil War started, and nobody really gave a shit. These days, we use electricity for a lot of things, like YouTube. According to the oath-breaking, overpriced bellhops at the Pentagon, if the grid goes down, the electric grid goes down, 90% of the population of the United States will be dead within 2 years. Maybe it was 1 year. By the way, it's a shitload of corpses. One thing they never bothered to talk about on that TV show, Revolution, was what happened to all the nuclear power plants. See, nuclear power plants need electricity to keep the cooling pumps running, and the computers control everything. If there was a Carrington event, or an electromagnetic pulse attack, or even a couple of really cool computer viruses, the power grid would go down. In some places in the world, you'd hardly notice. But in the United States, there are 61 nuclear power plants, operating at least 99 reactors. That's not counting the research reactors and the secret shit nobody's admitting to. Your so-called representative government is aware of this. And a couple times they've actually talked about it. But you see, that kind of thing costs money. And you're too busy getting them to argue over gay marriage, who we should bomb the hell out of on the other side of the world next, for them to really care. And besides, the nuclear power industry donates a lot of contributions to their campaigns. In 2011, there was an earthquake off the coast of Japan, followed by a tsunami. When that tsunami hit the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant, it swamped their backup generators, and 3, at least, of the 6 nuclear reactors there melted down. There's no cure for a nuclear reactor melting down. At this point, the technology does not exist to clean up the radiation that produces, and is, in fact, still producing, and filling the Pacific Ocean with. Within 2 weeks of that meltdown, increased levels of radioactive isotope, cesium and strontium, were found in the milk of cows as far away as Vermont and Pennsylvania. They didn't bother mentioning that on the news. Just like they didn't bother mentioning that they very quietly increased what's considered the safe dosage of radiation. You know, while you're trying to explain how Donald Trump is literally Hitler, which is stupid because only Hitler is literally Hitler, while you are waving your signs in protest of this, that, or the other thing, while you're real busy buying lots of useless shit that you don't need and really can't afford to impress people you don't know and probably wouldn't like very much if you did. Those 61 nuclear power plants in the United States are leaking and getting older. According to CBS News and the Associated Press, as of 2011, 75% of them, at least, had leaks or were leaking. In fact, there's a leak going on right now in New York. To fix this kind of crap costs money. And it's not the cool kind of money that, can go for abortion on demand, or free college for morons. It's not as cool as spending the money on new sports stadiums or more bombs to bomb the shit out of people on the other side of the planet. But I think that the possibility of the entire planet being wrapped in a radioactive death shroud is at least as important as whether or not some transgendered person gets to use the bathroom of their choice. I'd say that that's at least as important as some candy-ass college student not being able to get to their safe space after being traumatized by seeing chalk on the sidewalk. Don't you? If you liked the video, comment, share, subscribe. If you don't like the video, tell me about it. Human, evolve, or die. And hurry the fuck up either way, will ya? We're running out of time here.